live.
Okay, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Wa salatu wa salamu ala Rasulina Muhammadin wa ala alihi wa sahbihi wa atba'ihi wa sallam. Walhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. From the chapter Layl, the night, we covered the last verse 19, which says, and doesn't accept any reward from anyone, but only the desire to seek for countenance of his Lord Most High. The 20, and he will be well pleased with his Lord. Now, we have to understand something that makes the case a little bit complicated, a little bit intrigued. Now, we don't expect any reward from anyone, only simply from Lord. How about ourselves? By purifying ourselves, what happens to us? The simple example is going to school. Why do you go to school and get education? There are two options. I'm not asking you. She doesn't know why she is going to school. So, so how about, did you get some degrees, or why did you go to school and get the degree? Why? Now, it seems to be as if we are not concerned with the administration. Why we are not concerned? In which aspect we are not concerned with the administration? We don't study in order to make the administrators happy, but we study and we learn in order to gain something for ourselves, which is the difference. So, for example, if a student works not in order not to benefit or learn something from himself, but to get the appreciation of the teacher, what happens? So the professor or the teacher will be happy with this person, but the purpose, not ultimately he or she also learns, but what is the main purpose? To get appreciation from the professor or to learn? But at the same time, if the professor is happy with you, appreciates your work, what do? You feel even more happier. Happier. Right? In our trying to self-purify ourselves, but we studied this. I don't want to go back to the why we give, what is the wealth, giving wealth away, what they mean, all this process. Well, last week we spent a lot of time on it. There is no need to go back again and repeat again. So why do we try to purify ourselves? For ourselves. Understand? For ourselves. In order to benefit from it. For ourselves. If a student studies only and learns only to satisfy the professor or to get the appreciation from the professor, it doesn't really make sense. Rather than educating, training yourself. Agree or not? Come on, tell me.
Yes.
Yeah? Okay. But in reality, what happens? We should not expect any reward from anyone. But the following verse makes us into trouble, puts us into a trouble, which says, but only the desire to seek for the countenance of his Lord, Most High, whatever. I mean, his owner, his creator. Well, again, when we desire, when we seek for the countenance of his Lord, of course, you know more or less what countenance of Lord means, an idea? Seek the countenance of Lord, face of Lord, an idea?
Existence.
His existence, but the countenance of his Lord. Why do we seek the countenance, seek for the countenance of Lord while we are here? What benefit I should get from it? That's why the verse 19, 20, and 21 looks like apparently contradictory. I don't expect any rewards from anybody. Whatever I do, all the actions that may purify me is for myself, because I will be more comfortable. I will be consistent within my own existence and be satisfied within myself. That's quite normal. I change the example a little bit to make this riddle clearer. Let's say there is a school. Example, just an example. It's an exceptional case, extreme case, but all students are happy, successful. Do you think the school will be proud of it? The president of the school will say, 95% of our students are successful. No. The school will be proud of the best student. How the best student? What does it mean? For example, there is the most successful student. What the school does? Promote him and put him on the honor board or list and present him to other students just to encourage them to be like him. How about the unsuccessful ones? What does the school do with them? Don't mention. Don't mention. Look at this mutual relationship between the student and the school administration. Successful ones are appreciated by the school, although I think this will solve the problem. Although the student's aim was not to make the school reward him for himself, but the administration automatically appreciates him. Do you understand this seeming contradiction that we can solve here? I don't expect any reward, but in my life, example-wise, use the example, if I am a student, if I am successful, the school will be happy with me, and do you think I will hate the school, which rewards me, which is happy with me? Do I hate the school? No. I love the school as well. I feel more closer to the school, and I am proud of the school. School appreciates me, although my aim in studying has nothing to do with any of them, to educate myself. Did you get the solution? Now, of course, the problem is here that we have to deal with, we have to tackle. To solve this problem, what does seeking the countenance of Lord means? face of Lord. It means wedge. Wedge means the face of Lord, but not the face. This face, of course, face represents what? Personality. Yeah. For example, in your picture ID card, what do you have? Your face. What? They are not interested in your rest of your body, your face, because face represents you, not your arm, your leg, or foot. Get it? It means we seek, we are expected, in this verse says, you should seek the face of your Lord. Means how do I seek the face of my Lord? I mean, his appreciation. You understand? So he will smile at me. He will be happy with me, with one condition: if I am successful. What does successful mean here in this context? Now we have to be a bit, really concentrated in the subject. Successful means using all the facilities prepared for the student in the example at the highest level as possible, as high as possible. Yeah. So learn the most of the teachings as much as you can. You are successful. There is a library. Use it at the most level, at the most possible way. Successful student, or whatever school provides you, if you use them at the best at the best way, you are successful. Benefit from. But the success is for yourself. For yourself. You learn it. You get most of the facilities. Now, let's come to the real life. That was the school exam. Because I couldn't really solve this problem only by using this analogy. And then I said, I think we can share this idea. Now, let's come to our reality. What in this universe, what the Creator has provided us so that we will benefit from it. Remember the school, education, library, other facilities, technological facilities that you can use. You can have free access. In our real life, what the Creator has provided for me, and then I am using them at the highest level, and the highest capacity, as much as possible. What are they? Sorry? So say it. Our mind. Okay, definitely one. And the most important one. What else? How about your emotions? Okay. How about the creation out there? Clouds, rain, snow, winter, summer, spring. What's going on? They are all materials for us to get to know the face of the Creator. Because we cannot see the physical face of the Creator. He is the Creator and He is absolute. How can I communicate with the absolute? Because the existence level between me, my existence as a created being, and His existence as a creator is completely, not only different, contradictory. I am the created. He is the creator. I am made. He is the maker. They're completely different, how do you say, things. Completely different existence. But since I cannot really go and communicate with the creator and say that, look, are you happy with me? You know, are you smiling at me? I cannot do that. But if I use all the facilities provided by him for me, what happens? I can see his manifestations, his work, and appreciate the work. For example, again, another example. Let's see. I always give the example of a painting. Example of a painting. So when I see the painter, the artist, make it different, the artist and the art. Now, how can I appreciate the artist? What is the only way to appreciate the artist, the quality of the artist, that you are a wonderful artist? How can I appreciate?
His work. Through his work.
Through his art. I cannot go and say, man, you are the artist, man, you are a great man, without seeing any of his work. Does it work? No, you understand? Now the countenance, with the literal meaning is face of God, it means really God himself in his essence. Is not meant here because I cannot communicate with his essence. But I don't have to. I don't have to go and see God in order to appreciate him. You cannot appreciate the artist without seeing his work. So when you, for example, when you see the artist, what you say in order to appreciate him, what you say, hey, are you, let's say, I don't know, Martin, the artist of this art? I admired what? Your art. If you say to the artist, well, everybody talks about you, but I've never seen your work, but you are a wonderful guy. He says, you have never seen my art? And you are saying I am an excellent artist. It is just hypocrisy. It is just hypocrisy. Do you understand that? It's very dangerous. Because everybody says God is great, God is great, God is almighty. I say God is almighty, it's hypocrisy. What you have to say, what you have to do, I have seen your work and analyzed, worked on your work. And I understood that you are a wonderful artist, wonderful creator, very wise creator. Look what I am doing. I'm speaking from his work perspective. Then it makes sense. Otherwise, if you remember his work, if you come to the conclusion as a result of your observation of his work, going and saying that, God, you are great, great. What does it mean? There's nothing. People say, are you cheating me? Not playing with me? What are you doing? You have to come with your witness and appreciate it. Countenance, face means, as far as we are concerned within this universe, his work. Appreciating the work, through the work, appreciating the artist. But really, you don't have to be in front of the artist. For example, let's say we are studying the art of an artist who died 100 years ago. The art is in the exhibition. You are observing the art, looking at the art. What you say, oh man, this guy, the artist, is a real, real, excellent artist. How you see how delicate his work is? Although the artist is not there, it died. Still, you appreciate him. Still, you appreciate him by appreciating the work. It means you don't have to speak to God himself in order to appreciate him. Yeah, what is the alternative? Speak on the work he performed and say that all the one is very important, this expression. All the one who made this art, you must be great. You understand the relationship? First, you have to define the art and the qualities manifested in the art, right? And then refer it to the artist, and the artist doesn't have to be in the presence in order to speak to him. That is very delicate subject, that when we worship God, we don't see him. When we pray and address to God, we don't see him, but we have to have in our mind that I know him. How? Through his word. I don't have to know his personality. We talked about it a lot. We repeat this point. You don't have to see God's personality. It means nothing. It would mean nothing. Only you can see, you can understand the value of a person through his action. You don't see that looking at the man say, you are a great, wise man. You say, what did make you say this? But I look at your eyes, you look wise, knowledgeable. You know, this man is really flattering me. You're not just speaking nonsense. But if I say, I've seen your work, right? You are the one who did it, you are a great man. But my evidence is your work, your behavior, your treatment of other people, or how you evaluated the action, the things that I have seen, and I come and appreciate you. It makes sense. Without the material that we are expected to have, look at the whole universe is the demonstration of God's countenance. As a result of observing the countenance, the manifestations of his qualities, we conclude that the one, be careful with, don't say God, the one who performed this job is a great one, if you appreciate it. That is why, especially the Quranic language is very sensitive about belief in ghaib. It means the one which is not physically observable. Physically observable. Believe in God. How? Through his work, through his countenance, his qualities manifested in me, manifested in the external world, external to me. The world external to me. All of us, whole universe, including myself, including my feelings, including my mind, intelligence, consciousness, everything is the work of somebody who gave existence to them. I say the one is this. It is you, whoever you are. You don't have to know it to appreciate it. Whoever made this art, what we say, he's a great artist. If he died, we say he was a great artist. But human beings died. That's why we have to give the example on a realistic base. Human beings may die, but the universe is continuously created. So we thought that there is somebody who's operating on it, already operating on it as well, alive. Did you get this analogy? Any problem there? Okay, now the question.
I've about like 3 or 4 questions.
The one by one.
Yeah. So starting with, I guess, the analogy that you used of a student going to school for the purpose of educating him or herself, as opposed to wanting to seek the satisfaction of the school or the teachers or the institution, right? So starting with that analogy,
Yeah, it is not the main purpose.
that is not the main purpose,
It might happen,
right? As a
if they
byproduct.
want. I don't aim at it, right?
Right.
The emphasis is important. But it may bring the result that the school may put my picture, my name, my grade on it, and on the honor list, and give me the honor degree. That's their choice. My aim is not that. My aim is to learn. Yes.
Right. Okay. So on with that analogy, going back to verse 19 where it says, "And does not expect any reward from anyone."
For himself, person.
So I guess this is a statement that, again, like from a subjective point, I'm saying I do not expect any reward from anyone,
Yes.
other than, I guess, wanting to fulfill my purpose or
Yeah.
right.
But be careful.
Mhm.
That's correct. That's very correct. But what we have to do there. My purpose. What is my purpose? In my existence, I have been given the potentialities. My purpose is to develop these potentialities into practical level learning. For example, I have been given the potentiality of learning. I have to learn. I am given the potentiality of being, for example, respectful to the art out there. I have to appreciate it by studying them, developing them. I have been given the potentiality to be kind to every creature, every being, including the insects, and I have to put it into practice. Now, that is why what we said, my purpose is to fulfill the purpose in my existence. By doing that, what am I doing? By doing that, fulfilling the purpose in my existence. What am I doing by fulfilling the purpose in my existence? Making the qualities given to me useful, not wasted. If I waste it, what happens? If I waste the qualities, the one who said, come on, man, you wasted all the things I gave you. You are not a nice person. You didn't do your job properly, right? You wasted all my work within you. I gave you mind. You didn't think about it. Use it and think. Okay, there.
It's on the same point though.
Yeah.
Like again, the same verse does not expect any reward from anyone, and like you're saying that the one who's given me my existence will naturally, by default, I guess, any wisdom would kind of say that, okay, would be disappointed in me wasting away my existence
If I waste it.
if I waste it. Isn't that again some form of, aren't we again, from my perspective, baking some form of expectation into this understanding? And part of my question was then what does it mean to expect something or do not expect something?
We don't expect it. It's not our aim. It is the outcome. How the order of the universe has been established. If I am successful, use the second aspect of the school example. If I am successful, the school is proud of me. If I am a failure, the school never mentions my name. Do you understand that?
So are you saying that one
Yeah.
should not concern concern themselves with the result or the outcome, but rather in the objective itself.
Yeah. So that is what usually misunderstood. So now we work, for example, this expression is very dangerous. We have to struggle to please God. Does it make sense? God doesn't need your get pleasure from you, man. Don't be ridiculous. But because of the misunderstanding, not rightly evaluating the context of this, the word in the original word is rida. There are lots of books and literature studying that how can we get rida? It means pleasure of God. I am happy with God. I'm happy with God. So how can you be happy with God if you don't appreciate His work and use your human qualities, develop them in the best way? For example, yeah, please don't hesitate. It's a free seat. So we don't charge more for those people who sit in the front bench. So what was the point? We don't.
You were talking about rida. People, the point that you were making, that people say kind of do it in the like do it for the sake of God, essentially, in the sense that
to be pleased. Now,
yeah.
the example. I give this typical examples. Don't be bored of the repetition of the same example, but apply it to the subject we are trying to. Because a riddle. This is a riddle. Well, I'm surprised that many people, scholars even, say we have to gain rida. We have to gain rida. Huh? Wow. You have to be, rida means happy, be happy with him. You have to be happy with him, whatever he creates. It means if a calamity happens to you, you have to say, okay, you know better, please, don't get angry with me. This is an artificial relationship. You have to see the wisdom in the existence of everything created by him. So, example. My example is, here is the computer. Computer has, let's say, 1,000 different functions. It is the reality that I use it as a typewriter, really. Nothing more. I don't know. So the engineer of the one who designed the computer comes and looks at me and says, it is very disappointing, man. You reduced this very multifunctional computer just for one primitive typewriter. Yeah, write something on the document, Word document. Yeah, typewriter. And he gets disappointed with me. He cannot be proud of me using the computer. We should understand this example. I remember mentioning this example earlier on other occasions. I don't remember the occasions, but that is an important concept that we should understand. If I use the computer with all extreme example, with all functions together, the engineer comes and looks at me. Yeah, it was worse that I made this computer with this full capacity. Somebody's benefiting from it. He, the engineer of the computer, although I don't give any benefit, I don't really present any benefit to him, he doesn't get any benefit from me, but I understand as a human being that he will be happy with me automatically. One condition, I have to use the qualities, the potentialities which He has given to me as much as possible. That is the only way that we can gain the pleasure of God. Not saying that whatever you create, I am happy with you, don't get angry with me. Is what I mean? Don't get angry with me. I'm happy. Yeah, you gave me, that's okay, it's all right. But this is hypocrisy. Do you get this point until this point? Yeah.
Our minds challenge.
Oh, you want me to repeat it? So you're saying that, correct me if I'm wrong, you're saying that He would be happy if I use my mind to challenge
the existence.
To challenge the existence.
His existence or challenging whatever.
Try to understand what it is. What do you mean by challenge the existence?
To question.
Of course, to be questioned.
Why,
Yeah, but it means what? The way to investigate. What is the wisdom? And it is creation, it is existence. The more, if you don't question it, you don't understand anything. You won't benefit from it if you don't question it. Definitely, that is why the mind is given to us. We have to question. When we find the answer, we appreciate it, we admire it. Now, those people who study the creation gets excited. Yeah? Anything they discover, oh, it is wonderful. Let's use it. They are proud of their findings, discoveries, aren't they? It means they are appreciating the work of the maker, creator. But human beings have free will. They may not refer it to the creator. They may say it is to nature. Okay, that's up to them. Let them struggle with their conclusion whether nature is a conscious being made it on purpose in order to satisfy my need and make my feelings satisfied on purpose. I never give any possibility that blind, unconscious, matter will try to satisfy my needs. I'm not stupid, so which means there is a conscious creator behind it. In order to understand his qualities, countenance manifested there, I have to investigate. If you don't inquire into the matter, how can you understand? How can you get the result? Definitely, that's why the mind is given to us. That's why the mind is given to us, to question, to get answer. Are you satisfied? And does it no? So you have lots of questions. This man is the source of questions. It's good. I'm not questioning. Yeah.
Are we all good? So can I ask my second question?
Well, have we done with the first one?
Yes.
All right?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
So, since I'm not expecting any, I guess, reward from anything and solely trying to fulfill my existence as how I see it.
Yeah, make most of it.
Make most of it.
Okay. And utilize it.
Right.
Of course, as a result, what? Appreciate the maker. Yeah, because you learn it, what happens?
But not for that intent. Like I'm not doing it with the intention.
You're learning, but automatic result is?
Sure, that I'll
acknowledge. Appreciate it. For example, you use your mind and as if it is your property, it is given to you.
Right.
When you use your mind, you realize that it's a wonderful thing. Oh, the one who gave and created this wonderful tool for me must be a great one. Yeah? No one can do it. Nothing can do it. But the purpose is not to satisfy the maker. Purpose is to get the result, and automatic result means investigated, and when you realize, when you utilize them, when you benefit from them, automatic result is appreciation of the maker.
Right. I was trying to avoid the automatic result part initially because again I think the moment you bring it into the mix, it's
That's correct. Initially
it's
correct.
there in your
Initially
head.
correct.
Right. So
You cannot say that I'm going to study this machine in order to appreciate the engineer. No,
right.
I'm going to work and use this machine and learn how it works in the best way so that I can utilize it. It's more for me.
Right. And I think that the moment you even bring the idea that okay, an engineer may appreciate you for utilizing the machine properly,
Up to him.
yeah, but the moment you even bring that thought into the mix, it's extremely hard to avoid that while you're utilizing the machine.
Yeah, but at the end, end of your discoveries,
right.
if you don't discover, when you look at the machine, I'm interrupting you, but to
That's
make
fine.
the case clear, you don't use it, you don't know what is in it. How can you speak about the greatness or the successfulness or smartness of the maker? You haven't seen anything.
Those are also two separate things. So I'll get to my. Let me get to my question because then
Okay.
eventually I think what you're doing is you're answering it, in a way. And my question is countenance, right? Like you've I guess used the analogy of face and how I understand that to be is like the side which is observable to me. So you use the example of an artist's art, right? And how through interacting or observing the art, I'm actually in a way kind of seeking his countenance, right?
Yeah.
My question,
Yeah.
my
Correct.
question is, his countenance in that instance is everything that I know of, or that I can probably ever know of, except the source itself. So creation, every form of creation, is in a way is the artist's art, right?
Yeah.
Including my own thoughts, including my own emotions, everything. So am I then?
Yeah.
Am I
Okay.
then? So but what I'm trying to get at,
While
yeah,
you are speaking, I understand that some words don't fit. It means I don't know. You said I don't know, but you are not expected to know the artist, to acknowledge his qualities manifested there, and these qualities belong to a one.
right.
Someone. For example, when you appreciate the engineer, do you know the engineer of this computer? No. But you say this, the one who made it, a very bright man, must be a smart man and very careful. He worked hard. But you are talking about a man you've never seen. You don't have to see it. That's what is the heart of the matter. You don't have to see it. It's very important. People say that how do you know God exists and have you ever seen him? This kind of language is just, I'm sorry, but idiotic language. It's not human language. It's just prejudice. Nonsense. Okay. That's why the word know
Yeah.
is this, but acknowledge. Now that is the very essential word.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So if I'm understanding countenance as everything that there ever is,
Yeah, the work.
the work, right?
The
Yeah.
manifested work.
Right.
Yeah.
Then the verse says, but only the desire to seek for the countenance of his Lord, right?
Yeah.
So if countenance is creation, then am I not expecting from creation or by fulfilling creation?
But automatic result is that. But countenance means here, we have to understand that. When you look at an art, piece of art, let's say made of wood, it's a very delicately embellished, decorated, perfectly done woodwork art. Do you study it do you investigate the art in it? Right? In order to see the ability or the capacity of the wood, yes or no? Capacity of the wood, yes? Whether the wood made this art, wood made the art, I think my language is not clear. So when you work and see the countenance, quality, the art on a woodwork, do you go and see what are the qualities of the art there in order to appreciate the wood?
No.
Do you think wood makes the art? No. What are we trying to find out and as a result appreciate?
Source.
The artist. Countenance means this. When we get in touch, in contact with the universe, the existence, even we use our human qualities, we don't see that, for example, oh, my heart is beating, right? Working, my lungs are working, my brain is working. So investigate how clever, how successful the cells of my brain, they made it in this way. When I study the computer, can I really, or do I really investigate the functions it makes in order to appreciate the metal or other material? Do I do? Or engineer? Countenance is this. The qualities manifested in the matter in this world made up of matter. But when we investigate it, we don't really investigate it in order to see the quality of the atom, quality of the particle, quality of the human cell, but the one who manifested his qualities on them. That is countenance of the Creator. Did you get it? It may be not a common approach, but everybody automatically does it, but we may not be conscious of it. But when you admire a work, definitely you don't admire the work, which is the work has the qualities of the work, not coming from the matter they are made of. But, for example, let's say there is an edifice here, beautiful building, historical, or a very decorated, wonderful building. You go and study the qualities there, or architectural qualities, and then say that this stone is a wonderful thing, how beautiful art it made. Can you say that? The most atheist man in the world hears you, will say, you're stupid. Stone cannot make the art. Yeah, that's very simple concept. Very simple. That's why we see it only when we are interacting with the universe, using our own qualities. We see only what? The art of the maker. Benefit from it. Of course, while we are benefiting from it, what do? We develop our human qualities. Learn. As you go to school to learn, although potentially you are able to learn, but if you don't get engaged into the learning process, your potentiality dies. It doesn't function. So that is for you to develop yourself, got it? But at the same time, the automatic result is appreciation of the artist. It means the artist's countenance, manifestations. So that automatic result is appreciation of the artist. That's why we are engaging ourselves with the creation, with the existence, in ourselves or outside. Right? So knowing the artist means acknowledging the art is coming from something else other than the stone, other than the particles, other than the atoms of the cells. Artist. We have to be careful, although those people don't want to believe and submit. The artist, what they say, it happens like this. I don't know. They cannot say that the building, the art on the building, beautiful architecture, nobody in the world, with no exception, this art is the result of the stone. Is there anyone in the world I've never seen? Huh? How can you say that the human abilities, human potentialities, and every quality that human beings have is the art of the atoms? Don't you find it difficult? I mean, ridiculous? Do you or not? It's obvious. But somebody is obstinate not to accept the conscious maker. They say, oh, the matter itself is happening like this. The stones are happening like that. But doesn't make sense. That's why Quran, with no hesitation, they say they seek for the countenance of the Maker. Let's forget about this, his Lord Most High. After the Maker, if you see that he's a great one, right, must be extraordinary, nothing to do with the word, then you have to say Most High or Almighty, whatever you want to say, qualify it. That's your conclusion. But what we learned today, it has been 1 hour, is one very simple thing. We engage with the universe and use our qualities in order to develop ourselves. That's step one. Very simple, huh? Step two, automatic of this. We appreciate the Creator. Step three, if I appreciate the Creator, remember the school metaphor? When we appreciate the Creator, use all His qualities manifested in me in the best way, the school administration is happy with it. That's how human capacity understands. So we shouldn't start from, we are working in order to gain pleasure of God. Does not make sense. We have to understand this. That's why when the people say that, why are you trying to please God? And they're right. They're right. Because of the wrong presentation of it. Although it is a very common language. Now my aim is to please God. It's a very wrong language. But automatically it comes, but it is the result that we have to understand. When you just tell the result, but not how did you reach that conclusion, you look stupid or hypocrite. I'm an hypocrite, not the language of the Quran, the hypocrites, the horrible position, but in the, in the social life, we used to don't be hypocrite, man, be realistic. I like that. Simple way of understanding hypocrisy. Not in the language of the Quran, it's completely different, right? So don't get it all. If someone says, I am seeking God's pleasure, I'm working to please God, is a hypocrite in the language of the Quran. It's a big accusation. No, we don't mean that. We don't mean it is inconsistency. It's not realistic. It is just really imitating the language we hear in the name of religion. Doesn't make sense. Did you get it? The 3/4 stage. That's a beautiful presentation of this. This here, in the verses we studied, 19, 20, we will come to the 21. We will come to the verse 21. But 19, 20, it puzzled me at the beginning when I read it. It sounded contradictory. And I said, what does it mean really? What's going on in my life? Let me think about my life. I understood that, no, it's not contradictory, it is commentary. No. What is that?
Complementary.
Complementary. It is complementary, not contradictory. Oh, God, I understand. Now I'm very happy and excited, and I wanted to share it with you. 1 point, okay? In one class, 1 point. Is it worth it? You will decide.
Mhm.
Anymore? Shall we come to verse 21? Because we have to stop soon for Maghrib prayer. But we have to say, and وَسَوْفَ يَرْضَى. Yes? Now you can understand this verse in 2 ways. The word, and he will be well pleased. This he may be a minuscule H or maybe a capital H, right? He will be pleased. Okay, in both cases, we have to understand it, because you know that the language of the sacred books, when something is vague, not definitely stated, there's a purpose. You can look at the case from this aspect, you can look at the same case from another aspect as well. Both ways are possible. Now, when, especially sacred texts, also human language as well, but a little bit good literature, you see that if something is not stated, although expected to be stated, it is purposeful. It is purposeful. If it is not stated, it means, look, I have told you a lot, the rest you will conclude. I don't have to speak to you. I don't have to explain to you. When we read the text, if the text, we expect that normally as human beings, we expect from the text that, oh, come on, complete the story. Complete the sentence. No. If it is not completed in the sentence, you have to continue. It means your capacity can complete it. I don't have to tell you, right? If the grammatic structure of the verses of the Quran allows you to understand in different ways. There are many occasions in the Quran, especially the Quran is literally preserved. So everything in the Quran is purposeful. Really, when you study it, you will say everything. But now, here, وَلَسَوْفَ يَرْضَى, although the how do you say, sequence of the talk here and doesn't expect any reward from anyone, is the one, a human being. And but only the desire to seek for the countenance of his Lord and his which Rabbihi means the means, it continues. This man will be happy, will be well pleased, right? But you can also, if you take you can also study the verses of the Quran alone. This is interesting, every verse. But we have to be educated or trained in the subject, otherwise you mess up everything. So you can say, maybe God will be pleased with this guy. Remember the examples we used. When you are successful in the school, I'm going back to the same story, same example. If you are successful, you are happy with the school. Yes? At the same time, if you are successful, the school is happy with you. Works together. Huh? If you, in other verses of the Quran says, if the human beings are happy with God, God will be happy with them. Automatic. So it is not a news that, I didn't know that my Creator will be happy with me if I use His qualities manifested in me in the best way. It is automatic. If I use my human qualities in the best way, my Maker, I understand as a human being, but that's how I am created, with the ability to understand. That is purpose in the creation of my ability to understand. So I understand that if I am happy with him, he will be happy with me. Sure. If you are happy with your parents, that they will be happy with you. If you are happy with your friend, he will be happy with you. Automatic. Yeah.
I just wanted to reiterate the point that you were saying, that can it also be used in the instance that because I am creation, essentially, like I've been created, in fulfilling my purpose, I'm essentially fulfilling the purpose behind creation behind my own creation. So in that you're fulfilling the purpose for the creator. So it's
for the creator,
right.
The purpose of the creator. Yeah. It is automatic, but you don't use your ability just to please him. But what you do, you use your ability automatically. Well, I mean, not automatic. You use your ability by using your free will in order to fulfill your mission in this creation, the purpose of your existence. But the automatic result, step one, you will be happy with the one who created you. The automatic of this step two, the step three, the Maker is expected to be happy with you. That's how human mind understands. I cannot really come to a conclusion that I cannot comprehend. That's what I comprehend, what I understand. If I am happy with the things, the tools given to me, when I use them, fulfill their purpose, I will be happy. If I am happy with my work, the one who created me with these qualities is expected to be happy with me. This automatic result. So that the condition is, but this sentence doesn't make sense. If you are happy with God, God will be happy with you. This statement is wrong. Doesn't make sense. This is just a statement of bias, culture. But what is true? But what commonly you use that, you hear this language. It doesn't make sense. We wake up. If you are happy with the Creator, automatically He is happy with you. Although you don't know, are you happy with me? Huh? You don't communicate with the essence of the Creator. But you know that he has given you the ability to understand that if I am happy with the world, he will be happy with me. Automatic. So you can comfortably conclude that if I am happy with me, no, I know that the one who made me will be happy with me in response. That's automatic. That's understood. That's why the verse says, in the sequence of the language, if you follow it, he, the man who seeks the countenance of the Creator, the Lord, the owner, Lord means the owner, the Creator of the universe and human beings as well. This man will be well pleased. Why? Because he is using all the facilities given, provided to him, and benefiting from them, thus fulfilling the purpose of his existence in the school of this universe. Go to school, you learn it. Right? You learn. Why are we here? Why are we here? Really, the purpose in our existence? As a human being, not animal. Not to fill our stomach, not to, I don't know, feel comfortable bodily, feel warm when the weather is cold, feel cool when the weather is hot. No. This is bodily. This is not human. This body, human. Human side says, why am I here? To fulfill the functions of these all human qualities. When I use them, when I develop them by training, by educating myself, what happens? I become happy. Aren't you happy to learn something that you didn't know? That's why you are here. That's why I am here, to learn something new. Right? And I'm happy. That's why I spend a lot of time on the way and lots of things. I don't want to mention that I spend money or it's nothing, for the public transportation, but still it is costing. I could have sit and lie in bed in my room rather than coming here because I benefit from it. I'm happy with it. And I learn something, or it means I am happy. It means I'm pleased. Pleased with what? Pleased the qualities which are given to me. Pleased with the qualities which are given to me. No, when I use them, I feel that I fulfilled my purpose today by learning one point in the class. Appreciate, come next time. If you don't appreciate, don't bother. Because it's a waste of time, you are not getting. So if you get it, let's come together and we work on the following other verses of the Quran. So we are pleased when we fulfill, when we learn. We are pleased when we realize, right? For example, people study 10 years, work on 10 years, 20 years to become a musician. Why? They appreciate the voice. Yeah, beauty of the voice, beauty of the melody. They get pleasure from it. That's why they develop. They work on music for 10, 20 years and they never stop. They cannot stop. When they stop, they lose it. That's why, you go and speak to the musicians. They want to be able to use the instrument and get the beautiful melody and really satisfy themselves. It means they are pleased with the ability they are given. Right? Yeah, but if they understand that this ability is given to them, what are they expected to realize? The one who gave this ability to human beings was great. I am happy with the one. I am happy with my abilities. I am happy with them. It means I am happy with the countenance of my Creator. You get it? So automatically, the Creator will say, that's what human mind concludes. Then the Creator will say, okay, it was worth it that I created this man with this ability, he used it. Yeah? If you give it to a person, very simple, $100, yes, and he throws it in the trash can, what do? Huh?
Don't give him any more money.
Don't give any more money. That's what hell is. That's what hell is. No more. You wasted. But if you give a person $100, if you use it in the best way that he will benefit from it, his own benefit. Look, his own benefit. Get the best food, get the best things, tools, whatever. He needs it. What the man says, what do you do? Yourself. Ask yourself. What do? You gave me 100. Let's be a good man. I really used it in the best way for myself, not for you. You gave me $100, okay? For myself, the best way. I utilize it. I got the best clothes. I got the best food. I use it for my best benefit. Do you get angry with me or happy? Be frank. What do you feel? What do you feel?
Proud.
Yeah, happy? Happy, okay. If I ask you to give me another 100, what would you say? Yeah? Yeah. That is paradise. If you waste it, he wouldn't give it to you. That is hell. Don't imagine something strange. What the paradise is, the reward that you did good job. Hell is nothing. Sorry, you wasted, and I don't know why should I give it to you again? I don't give you $100 to throw it into the trash can. Come on, right? That's why when you submit or use the qualities in the way that they are created for, the Creator says, I'm going to reward you more. I'm going to give you not 100, 1,000. Because you are really benefiting from it, and it is worth it. If you throw it into the trash can or buy, let's say, beer and got drunk, would you like to give it again? But this man is harming himself. I'm not going to give it. But I'm not going to give it. Again, that is deprivation, eh? Depriving yourself from the further, I would say, gifts. That's it. That's what the Quran says. In the description of the Quran, the hell is you will feel everything lacking that you need. You realize that, I need some money to buy food. You didn't use it. I gave you on many occasions, not only 100, every day another 100, every day another 100, and you just went and bought alcohol and harmed yourself, or drug. Most of the people here, in I think, so really, I see one of them did it. He was not every of them, but general trend is this. In the subway, he was begging. He came out from the Westford Street, as I do, and he put upon all of them, counted, and it happened that he sat next to me, counted, certain amount, put it in this pocket, and we went together. We went out of the subway together, and he went the other side, but he was counting the money, not all of them, counting certain amount, putting on this pocket, the other one is on the other one. I just, curious, like, what was he doing there? And there was a man waiting there. He gave the money, he got the stuff. You understand? Yeah, something in small packet. Do you think I will give him another dollar? Huh? That is hell. We should be realistic. Not description of the hell, the fire or something that you are burnt now. Why? You need food and there is no money. Because you wasted on drugs. Most of the people use drug. Not only this physical drug, no. Waste their life for nothing. Keep themselves busy for nothing, not to seek the countenance of the Creator. They really dumbing themselves, making themselves, what do you say, thumb? No. Not being able to use one's brain. Sorry? Dumb. Making themselves dumb. And do you think God will give you brain again? No, you are using it in the wasteful way. So this is what we understand. He will be well pleased with the owner of the countenance that we experienced here. Automatically, he will be pleased with you. Don't start from the result, saying that I'm working in order to please God. Doesn't make sense. Although these people who use this language may have a good intention. No, we are not talking about the people. But this reasoning makes people in doubt that, why are you trying to please God? Do you think he's a bad guy? So that you will be secured from his anger or wrath? What are you doing? This is just imagination. This is just mythology. And most of the people hearing this keep away from religion. It doesn't make sense. And they are right. It doesn't make sense. I have to stop. I know. The time is getting late. Next week, we will study the following.